this video, I'm going to do a honest comparison and review, non-sponsored Spotify versus YouTube Music. Let's get an honest comparison based on a few different sections of the video. If you're new here, please punch the subscribe button. I do weekly videos, comparison, reviews, music. I have my own music. I'm a singer-songwriter myself, so you can check some of that music. I'll leave a couple links in the description. It's all on YouTube Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you want. Let's get into this comparison and review video. I'm going to structure it through 4 different sections: music, music discovery, pricing, and features. And I want to go through each of those 4 sections, looking at YouTube Music, looking at Spotify, which one is better in each of those areas. Let's start with the first section of music, and I want to start with YouTube Music, and then we'll get into Spotify. Now, YouTube Music has more or less the exact same music catalog as Spotify, over 60 million songs on each platform. So what's the music catalog when it comes to Spotify? Well, Spotify has also an enormous music catalog, over 60 million songs. When it comes to both catalogs, you're gonna likely find the song you want on each catalog, but Spotify is missing some of these independent artists who had their music on YouTube or who had their music on SoundCloud, but not on Spotify. As a songwriter and a musician, you need a distributor to put your music on Spotify. Whereas if you're a musician or a songwriter and you just want to put your music on YouTube, well, you can upload to YouTube for free. You can't just go and upload to Spotify. That's not how it works. You need to pay a distributor to get your music on Spotify. Because of that, YouTube Music has much more music from independent artists who are just uploading for free to YouTube Music. So you get more music. So for the section of music, I'm going to crown YouTube Music as the winner here just because it has more variety of music, not to mention all the music videos attached to those songs, which we'll get into a bit later. Next section, music discovery. Now, let's start with YouTube Music again. YouTube Music has been, I think, the biggest competitor when it comes to Spotify for finding new music. And here's why. Well, YouTube is owned by Google, and Google has all your information, especially if you have a Gmail account and you use Google Drive, and they're gonna have a lot of data on you, so they can recommend music that is really in line with your interests. And I noticed that right away when I signed up for YouTube Music and YouTube Music Premium. I already had really solid recommendations just because of how I use YouTube and what music videos I searched for on YouTube and who I subscribed to on YouTube. Already right away I was recommended music that I liked. That didn't happen on Spotify right away. It took a while for the algorithm to kick in because their data is really in the box in Spotify and they can only use what you're doing on Spotify. I'll give you an example. You can see here that when I'm in YouTube, just on my profile library, I have the videos that I liked and who I subscribed to on YouTube, and I have liked songs already. But you can see that I already have things going on in my YouTube Music account, but I just signed up for YouTube Music. So it's really valuable that they have all that data and history of you on YouTube and Google that they can leverage and use inside YouTube Music. Now for the section of music discovery when it comes to Spotify, Spotify just happens to be really, really strong. Their underlying algorithm that is built into their platform that helps you recommend new music that are in line with your interests through, most specifically, their Discover Weekly and Taste Breaker playlists, which are looking at artists you like and then recommending new artists that you've never heard before that you hopefully will like. Now, YouTube Music kind of has something similar to the Discover Weekly playlist, which is your mixtape, your endless personalized music, where you can just go ahead, and play that. And right here, it's like, oh, great. It probably thinks I like Sting, which I actually do like Sting. How did it know that? Likely because it has my data of history on YouTube. And then you see here on the right side, you have all the songs that you potentially could like. So very much almost the exact same to the Discover Weekly playlist. However, the only big difference is the Discover Weekly playlist updates weekly. And this playlist, I don't know how much it updates. I know it has been updated, but it doesn't specifically say on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. So for the section of music discovery, this is tough. I'm going to crown Spotify as the winner for new music discovery. Let's get into the section of features, and I want to touch on the design a little bit of the apps as well. Both have web apps where you can use in like Chrome or Safari. Both have native applications too, where you can download and use on your desktop or use on your your phone. You can really tell that YouTube Music is new to streaming services and that Spotify has a lot more thought out features. And this is not a surprise to me because YouTube Music is not just YouTube Music as a company, it's Google. And they have a lot of priorities at the company level where they're pushing. Whereas Spotify is a streaming service and they are only a streaming service. So their priority is to make the best streaming service in the world. So they're pushing a lot more ideas and features in the product as opposed to YouTube Music where it's very much more of a slimmed down streaming service than Spotify. A few of those features I want to mention are like the crossfade where you can blend songs to playback and there's no awkward pause in the middle. The integration with social platforms where you can share songs on Instagram, for example. The integration with podcasts, big one there that Spotify has up on YouTube Music. YouTube Music doesn't have podcasts yet. I mean, a lot of the podcasts have YouTube Music videos, so you can find those, but there's no real podcast system built into YouTube Music yet. And also radio. Spotify has radio, something that YouTube Music doesn't have, where you can get continuous radio on Spotify of new music and music that you like. I have not seen this on YouTube Music yet. And I'm going to have to pick Spotify as the crowned winner there. Way more thought out, been around the market long enough so they know what listeners want. Not to say that YouTube Music won't get there, but right now, crowned winner, Spotify. Last section, pricing. You don't have to argue about anything over price because it's the same. They have $9.99 a month where you get ad-free listening, and then there's a family plan at $4.99 a month, and then there's a student plan at $5.99 a month. The only small difference there are on the family accounts where Spotify gives you 6 family members and YouTube Music gives you 5. So YouTube Music offers a 30-day free trial on their premium package and both offer a free for life ad listening platform. So 2 crowned winners there, YouTube Music and Spotify. They're the exact same price, but if you have 6 people in your family, well, Ali's choice is to go with Spotify. Overall, I'm going to crown Spotify as the better platform right now when it comes to streaming services. However, in a year from now, I think I will judge very differently, and I'm gonna say that YouTube Music will eventually be better. Let's have a debate in the comments. Let me know if you use YouTube Music or Spotify, which one you like better. Punch the subscribe button if you're new here, and feel free to check out some of my own music. It's on YouTube Music and Spotify, and I hope to see you in the next video.